No, to the, yeah, there you go.
Next step. Huh?
Welcome everybody. One great thing to know is the first country to ever win the World Cup was Uruguay. And it's because of that, it was so fitting that when we go on this world tour, the first country to actually do the kickoff is the great country of Uruguay, which is in South America, between two giants, Brazil and Argentina.
That's right.
And also entrepreneurs, because also very forward-looking sort of people. If you can share some stories of the successes that entrepreneurs have.
Definitely. First of all, you have the success stories which are linked with the capacity of the country to attract foreign direct investment. We are the second largest destination for foreign direct investment in the region. In energy, we have basically changed all our energy matrix, and today 97% of our electricity supplies are renewable energies, when in the past we were totally dependent on fuels. And to give you examples, I can mention some of the well-established companies that have already have a success story, like Bayer and Roche, or DuPont, Nike, data consultancy services.
That's true for TCS, is the headquarters of Southern America.
That's right, they're located there. They have been there for quite a few years and they're doing quite well.
Also, one of the big success stories you mentioned was the energy. 97% is renewable energy. That's because of the policy that, there's a 2005 to 2030 policy, which is a 25-year multi-year policy. And the great thing about that is it's something so long-term. It's a multi-party policy-making body, which allows something so long-term to be built rather than just bickering over party politics.
That's right. There has been public policies followed by different governments over the last few years, and this has allowed, for example, a tremendous expansion on forestry, the complete renewal of our energy matrix, and these policies obviously will be continued by the following governments that will.
And it's also iterative growth. Like, for example, it's hydroelectric is one part, but the wind energy is the other part, right? And that's the growing solar, yeah. But the wind is the one which is really growing very fast.
Absolutely.
And that, rather than putting in giant wind farms, they did it slowly over a period of time. What did you learn from those mistakes? How can you make it better? It was that constant trial and error, which I saw that it's such a big success story.
It has been a success story, without any doubt. Now, you were mentioning what is Uruguay incentives or policies in order to attract, and how do we intend to maintain this? Well, I think that there are number one things that count for entrepreneurs is also Uruguay has a very strong democratic tradition. It has a sound record of political and economic stability.
And it's also a very liberal mindset, in the sense that it was one of the second country to legalize abortion, and the first to give women the right to have a divorce from the husband.
That's right.
So even very liberal sort of mindset, which I think is very important for an entrepreneur.
Yes, absolutely. But I think that there is also a need of doing business. For example, in Uruguay, any individual or any conglomerate can establish a business, a company in Uruguay without any prerequisites. So there is no restriction on foreign ownership. You can have.
But I'll interrupt you once. There are 33 different types of corporate tax returns that a corporate has to pay, which is a very high number. Well, so which is a problem.
Yeah, but you see, for example, in some of these investments, corporate tax is totally exempted.
Oh, so it's just a nil return or something like this.
Income tax. Value-added taxes, some other taxes.
Yeah.
If you are in a free trade zone, for example, you can have access to that completely.
Okay.
But if even if you're not, but your project is considered of national interest, you can be given incentives by the states in terms of exemptions of taxes.
Yeah.
But also one thing which is important is we have a completely free financial market. There are no restrictions on foreign exchange. There are no restrictions on profits repatriation as well. And then you have our people are talented, they're skilled. All these issues make of Uruguay a trustworthy and reliable destination for investment.
For innovative companies in the software field, what I found very interesting is you guys, a lot of the data is open data. So even there's the mindset of sharing data. And for a company when it really wants to grow and needs to check these metrics, it's a very good place because you have access to all of this data that you can use.
Yeah. Well, we have become the first exporter of software in Latin America in terms of per capita income. We are the third largest in terms of absolute terms. So software is an industry that developed in the last 20 years and it has a lot of potential.
What sort of Belgian businesses would be interested in entering into Uruguay?
Well, this year, in June of this year, we had a Belgian economic mission to Uruguay, which was presided by Her Royal Highness Princess Astrid, and with 80 Belgian representatives and companies going there. And they had identified 3 key sectors as the most promising for Belgians to contribute value added to whatever we're doing in Uruguay, and these were the audiovisual industry, the infrastructure and construction, and with focus on railroads and maritime construction and logistics. These were the 3 sectors in which the main emphasis was given. And
talk about logistics. Logistics is very interesting because that's a big tie-up to Antwerp in Belgium.
Logistics is, as I mentioned, I think the main issue there is a strategic geographical location, good connections, good telecommunications, a hub and good experience and networks already established in Uruguay in which the Belgians could associate themselves and be using Uruguay as a hub in order to get into the rest of Latin America.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is it a good jumping spot into, like, you land there and then you can go into Brazil and Argentina at the same time, or is that not really a strategy?
You can do it, and a number of them do it from free trade zones. So in other words, they don't pay any income tax, they don't pay anything. They don't pay import taxes, and they export directly from there to the rest of the. Especially distribution centers, shared services and exports of services and so on. So this is logistics is maritime construction. The Belgians are already there. They are at the moment managing our containers terminal in Uruguay. They are doing most of the dredging in the River Plate and other rivers. And
how is the funding for all of that done?
The funding is for infrastructure. The government has pledged $12 billion for.
And it's a very stable government, which is a very big positive. Because the people who are going to be watching this is going to be business people, CEOs, C-suite, board of directors. These sort of people, is there anything you would like to tell them about Uruguay?
Well, as I mentioned, I think that for investment and for entrepreneurs, reliability is very important. A legal system, a rule of law is very important, and we can provide that. And stability and political as well as economic stability is also a must. But also the ease of doing business, which I mentioned before. I think that in Uruguay you can, the bureaucratic part of doing business, although I'm not going to say that.
It's got the statistic of one of the least corrupt countries, that's right.
It is one. Yeah. It is number 1 in the index. So
yeah.
According to Transparency International, it's not
Uruguay
that's saying that.
It's a real ref, not your ref.
Okay, there you are.
Good, okay. Sir. Okay. Then one more thing also, which is important. What you're making is every ambassador that we meet, I'm going to be making. They're going to be making one stage of the Lego. So if I can ask you to put on the next couple. Still going on.
What are you building? What is the end?
If you go around the world, what are you going to go around the world in, right?
Okay, fair enough.
the other one on top. So it's the full stage number 6. Yeah, you just put it. Perfect. Now to there you go.
Next step. Huh? Good.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, all the best. Huh?
Thank you, sir.